Hello students, greetings of the day. Today we are going to start our first unit in history, that is advent of the Europeans. Okay, so in this class we are going to learn about the kinds of sources of modern India, then the Portuguese trade industry in India, then the impact of Portuguese and Dutch presence in India, then about the colonial settlements of Denmark, and also about the arrival and settlement of English and French East India companies. So many of the foreign travelers, traders, missionaries and civil servants who came to India in the 18th and 19th centuries have left accounts of their experiences and their impressions of various parts of the country. To know the events of modern period, we have abundant sources of at the international, national and regional level. Okay, so during 18th and 19th century, so many foreign travelers, traders and missionaries, they visited India. Okay, so after that they had recorded their experiences in our country. Okay, so we are having more number of records about the sources at the international, national and the regional level. Okay, so the sources of modern India. So the sources for history of modern India help us to know the political, socio-economic and cultural developments in the country. From the very beginning, the Portuguese, the Dutch, the French, the Danes and the English recorded their official transactions in India on state papers. Okay, so the sources for modern India, it is used to help us to gain knowledge about the political, socio-economic and the cultural developments in our country, that is India. Okay, so from the very beginning, the Portuguese, Dutch, French, Danes and the English, they recorded their official transaction matters in India in our state papers. Okay, so thus well preserved records were very valuable to know about their relations in India. Okay, so what is meant by well preserved? These records are stored well. Okay, so the well preserved records are very valuable to know about their relations, that is the foreign traders, their relations, European countries and Indian relationship. Okay, so the archives at Lisbon, Goa, Pondicherry and Madras were literally storehouses of precious historical informations. So what is meant by archives? So the archives is the place where the historical documents and the records were kept. Okay, so the archives were the place where the historical documents and records were kept. Okay, so these archives are located at Lisbon, Goa, Pondicherry and Madras. Okay, so these archives are used as a storehouses for the precious information. Okay, so all these sources must however be critically evaluated before they were used for historical writing. Okay, so first one, kinds of sources. Okay, so there are two kinds of sources are there. What are they? They are written sources and material sources. So what are the two kinds of sources? Written sources and material sources. So first we are going to see about the written sources. So after the advent of the printing press, numerous books were published in different languages. Hence, people began to acquire knowledge easily in the fields like art, literature, history and science. Okay, so after the invention of printing press, many books were published in different languages, in all the languages. So the people, they can gain knowledge by reading these books. Okay, so they can gain the knowledge in the field of art, literature, history and science, because the books were printed in many languages, so the people can acquire knowledge very easily. Okay, so the Europeans came to know about the immense wealth of India from the accounts of Marco Polo and similar sources. What is meant by immense wealth? Very huge wealth. Okay, so the Europeans, they came to know about the huge wealth of our country India. Okay, so the wealth of India attracted Europeans to this country. So what attracted Europeans to our country? The wealth of India, it attracted the Europeans to our country. Okay, then Anandarangam is a name to conjured with in the annals of Tamil history. Okay, so this Anandarangam, he can made the things cleverly. Okay, so this what is meant by conjure? Conjurements to make the things clearly, okay, but by clever activity, okay. So this Anandarangam is a name to conjure within the annals of Tamil history. What is meant by annals? Annals means the official record of events year by year. Annals means the official record of the events year by year, okay. So this Anandarangam, he was a Dubash, okay. So what is meant by Dubash? Dubash means he is a translator, okay. So he is a translator in Pondicherry to assist French trade in India, okay. So he recorded the events that took place in the French India. His diaries contain the daily events from the year 1736 to 1760, which are the only written secular record available during that period, okay. What this Anandarangam did? He wrote all the events which took place in the French India, okay, that is between 1736 to 1760. He wrote all the events that took place in the French India, and his diary is the only written record that is available during that period, okay. His diaries reveal his profound capacity for political judgment and is a most valuable source of history, okay. So the written sources, it includes the literature, travel accounts, diaries, autobiographies, pamphlets, government documents and manuscripts, okay. So do you know the meaning of pamphlets? What is meant by pamphlets? Pamphlets means it is a small booklet, okay. Next one, archives. So what is meant by archives? I had already told you. What is meant by archives? This is the place where historical documents were preserved. That is, this is the place where the historical documents were stored, okay. The National Archives of India, NAI, it is located in New Delhi. It is the chief storehouse of the records of the government of India. This NAI, it is the chief storehouse of all the records of the government of India, okay. So it has the main source of information for understanding past administrative machinery, as well as it is used as a guide for the present and future generations related to all the matters, okay. So this NAI, it has all the information about the past administrative machineries, and this records are used as a guide for the present and future generations, okay. So it contains the authentic evidence for knowing the political, social, economic, cultural and scientific and the activities that took place between the people of India, okay. So it is one of the largest archives in Asia, okay. So which is one of the largest archives in Asia? Which is? That is the National Archives of India. So it is one of the largest archives in Asia, okay. So next one, Tamil Nadu Archives, okay. So the Madras Record Office, presently known as Tamil Nadu Archives, okay. So the old name of this Tamil Nadu Archives is Madras Record Office, okay. So this Tamil Nadu Archives is located in Chennai, okay. So it is one of the oldest and largest document repositories in southern India. What does it mean by repositories? Repositories means it is the store of information, okay. So this Tamil Nadu Archives, it is one of the oldest and largest document repositories in southern India. Most of the records in Tamil Nadu Archives are in English, okay. So the collections include the administrative records in Dutch, Danish, Persian and Marathi. So what are the collections are there in Tamil Nadu Archives? It has the administrative records of Dutch, Danish, Persian and Marathi, okay. So few documents are in French, Portuguese, Tamil and Urdu. So this Tamil Nadu Archives, you see the picture of this Tamil Nadu Archives. You can see the picture. So Tamil Nadu Archives, it has 1642 volumes of Dutch records which relate to Cochin and Coromandel coast, okay. So these records cover the period of 1657 to 1845. So these records, it cover the period between 1657 to 1845. The Danian records cover the period of 1777 to 1845. Okay. So Dodwell prepared with great effort, and the first issue of the calendar of Madras records was published in 1917. Okay. So he was highly interested in encouraging the historical researchers. Okay. So he opened a new chapter in the history of Tamil Nadu archives. Okay. Who? Dodwell. Okay. So these are the written sources. Okay. Next one, material sources. Many paintings and statues are the main sources of modern Indian history. Okay. So many paintings and statues are the main sources of the modern Indian history. They give us a lot of information and the achievement of national leaders and historical personalities. Okay. So this gives us the a lot of information about the achievement of our national leaders and the historical personalities. Okay. So the historical building like St. Francis Church at Cochin, St. Louis Fort at Pondicherry, St. George Fort in Madras, St. David Fort in Kadalur, India Gate, Parliament House, President House in New Delhi, etc. are the different styles and techniques of Indian architecture. So these are the some important example of our Indian architecture. You can see the picture of St. David Fort, which is located at Kadalur. Okay. So what are they? St. Francis Church at Cochin, St. Louis Fort at Pondicherry, St. George Fort in Madras, St. David Fort in Kadalur, India Gate, Parliament House, President House in New Delhi are the different styles and techniques of our Indian architecture. Okay. So other objects and materials of religious, cultural and historical value are collected and preserved in the museums. Okay. So have you ever visited the museums? Okay, good. So these museums help to preserve these museums help to preserve and promote our cultural heritage. So the National Museum in Delhi is the largest museum in India, which was established in 1949. Okay. So which is the largest museum in India? The National Museum. It is located in Delhi. Okay. So it is the largest museum in India, and this museum was established in the year 1949. So coins are good source to know about the administrative history of India. Okay. The first coinage in modern India under the crown was issued in the year 1862. After that, Edward VII, he ascended the throne after Queen Victoria. Okay. So, and the coins issued by him bore his model. The Reserve Bank of India was formally set up in the year 1935. Okay. So, in which year the Reserve Bank of India was formally established? In the year 1935. Okay. It was empowered to issue the Government of India notes. So, who issued the rupee notes? Indian notes. Who issued the Indian amount rupee notes? The Reserve Bank of India. Okay. The first paper currency issued by RBI, that is the Reserve Bank of India. Okay. In January 1938 was 5 rupee notes bearing the portrait of King George VI. Okay. So the first paper currency which was issued by the RBI in the year 1935 was the 5 rupee note. Okay. So it bears the portrait of King George VI. Okay. Because at that time our India was ruled by the British. Okay. So next one, advent of Europeans. After the capture of Constantinople by the Turks in 1453, the land route between India and Europe was closed. Okay. So what the Turks did? They captured Constantinople and they closed the land route between Europe and India. Okay. So the Turks penetrated into North Africa and Balkan Peninsula. So after that the Turks, they entered into North Africa and Balkan Peninsula. Okay. So it became an imperative on the part of European nations to discover new sea route to the east. Okay. So it became very important for the Europeans to discover a new sea route to the eastern countries. Okay. So the European nations are located in the west side. They had to find the new sea route to reach the countries which was located in the east. Okay, you can see the picture. Okay, first one, Portugal. Amongst the entire European nations, Portugal was the foremost to make a dynamic attempt to discover a sea route to India. Okay, so this Portugal, it takes the foremost and an energetic attempt try to discover the sea route to India. Okay, it take an active part to discover the sea route to India. Okay, Prince Henry of Portugal, who is commonly known as navigator. Okay, so what does mean by navigator? Navigator means a person who explored by ship. Okay, what does mean by navigator? A person who explored by ship. Okay, so Prince Henry of Portugal, who is commonly known as the navigator, he encouraged his countrymen, that is the Portuguese people. Okay, he encouraged his countrymen to take up the adventurous life to explore the unknown regions of the world. Okay, Bartolomeu Dias, a Portuguese sailor. Okay, so Bartolomeu Dias, he is a Portuguese sailor. He reached the southernmost point of the Africa in 1487. Okay, you see, the southernmost part of Africa is the Cape of Good Hope. Okay, this Bartolomeu Dias, he reached the southernmost point of Africa in the year 1487. Okay, he was patronized by the King John II. Okay, patronized means the King John II, he treated his as an intelligent person. Okay, next one, Vasco da Gama. Have you ever read about Vasco da Gama? Yes, so Vasco da Gama, he is another Portuguese sailor. Okay, so he reached the southernmost point of Africa and he continued his journey to Mozambique, from where he sailed to India with the help of an Indian pilot. Okay, so before Vasco da Gama, this Bartolomeu Dias, he started his journey from Portuguese and he is able to reach only the southernmost point of Africa. Okay, that is the Cape of Good Hope. Okay, after that he can't able to continue his journey. Okay, so after Bartolomeu Dias, this Vasco da Gama, he reached the southernmost point of Africa and further he continued his journey to Mozambique, from where he sailed from Mozambique he sailed to India. Okay, so from Cape of Good Hope to he sailed to Mozambique. You see the place where the Mozambique were located. You see it in Africa. Okay, so Vasco da Gama, from the southernmost point of Africa, he reached Mozambique and from there with the help of an Indian pilot he reached India. Okay, in 1498 he reached Calicut. Okay, so where he was cordially received by the King Zamarin, the ruler of Calicut. You see where the Calicut is located. You see in Kerala, Calicut. Okay, so in 1948 this Vasco da Gama, he reached Calicut and he was hardly welcomed by the ruler of Calicut, that is King Zamarin. Okay, next, a second Portuguese navigator, Pedro Alves Cabral, he sailed towards India following the route which was already discovered by the Vasco da Gama. Okay, so he sailed with 13 ships and a few hundreds of soldiers in the year 1500. Okay, so the Portuguese sailor who first reached India is Vasco da Gama. Then after Vasco da Gama, this Pedro Alves Cabral, he reached India with 13 ships and few hundreds of soldiers. Okay, so on his arrival at Calicut, there rose a conflict between the Portuguese and the King Zamarin. What does mean by conflict? Conflict means fight. Okay, so after reaching the Calicut, this Pedro Alves Cabral, there was a fight between Portuguese and the King Zamarin. Okay, so then Vasco da Gama came to India for the second time in the year 1501. Okay, so first time he came to India in the year 1498. Okay, So after that, for the second time, he came to India in the year 1501 with 20 ships, and he founded a trading center at Kannanur. Okay. So one after another, they established their factories at Calicut and Cochin. Okay. So you can see Calicut, Cochin and Kannanur. Okay. So these are the Portuguese settlement in India. Okay. So first they set up their trading post in Kannanur, Calicut and Cochin. Okay. King Zamarin attacked the Portuguese in Cochin, but he was defeated by the Portuguese. Okay. So Cochin was the first capital of the Portuguese East India Company. So Cochin was the first capital of the Portuguese East India Company. Next, the third voyage of Vasco da Gama was in the year 1524. So the first voyage of Vasco da Gama was in the year 1498. The second voyage was in the year 1501, and the third voyage of Vasco da Gama to India in the year was 1524. Okay. Then after that, he soon fell ill. Okay. So due to sickness, he can't able to proceed. Okay. And in December 1524, he died in Cochin. Okay. So in India itself, he died in the year 1524. Okay. Next one, Francisco de Almeida. In 1505, Francisco de Almeida was sent as the first governor for the Portuguese possession in India. Okay. So what the Portuguese they did, they set up their trading post. Okay. In Cochin, Calicut and Kannanur. Okay. And then after that, in 1505, Francisco de Almeida was sent by the Portuguese as the first governor of the Portuguese East India Company. Okay. So Almeida had the aim of developing the naval power of the Portuguese in India. Okay. So he had the aim of developing the naval power in India. Okay. So his policy was known as the Blue Water Policy. So the policy of Francisco de Almeida was known as the Blue Water Policy, because he has to made the naval power of the Portuguese in a strong manner. Okay. So his policy was known as the Blue Water Policy. Okay. As Portuguese tried to break the Arabs' monopoly of Indian Ocean trade, it negatively impacted on the trade interest of Egypt and Turkey. Okay. So the Portuguese, they tried to break the control of Indian Ocean trade of the Egypt and Turkey. Okay. So it made a negative impact about the on the trade interest of Egypt and the Turkey. So Sultan of Bijapur and Gujarat were also apprehensive of the expansion of Portuguese control of ports, which led to an alliance between Egypt, Turkey and Gujarat against the Portuguese invaders. Okay. So what this Portuguese they did? They expand their control in the ports of India. Okay. This creates an worry to the Sultans of Bijapur and Gujarat. Okay. So what they did means they had an alliance. Okay. That is agreement. Okay. So they had the alliance means it is a group. Okay. They had an alliance between Egypt, Turkey and Gujarat against the Portuguese invaders. Okay. In a naval battle fought near Chaul, the combined Muslim fleet won a victory over the Portuguese fleet under Almeida's son, who was killed in the battle. Okay. A naval battle took place near Chaul. Okay. So in this battle, the combined Muslim fleet means the group of ships. Okay. The combined Muslim fleets, they won the battle, and in this battle the Portuguese Almeida's son were killed in this battle. Okay. So Almeida defeated the combined Muslim fleet in a naval battle near Dayu. Okay. So in the first battle, the combined Muslim fleet, they defeated the Almeida's son and they killed Almeida's son. Okay. Then after that, the Almeida, he defeated the combined Muslim fleet in a battle near Dayu, and by the year 1509, Portuguese, they claimed the naval supremacy in Asia. Okay. They became a supreme power in the naval. Okay. Next one, Francisco de Albuquerque. The real founder of the Portuguese power in India was Alfonso de Albuquerque. So he was the real founder of Portuguese power in India. Okay. First he captured Goa from the Sultan of Bijapur in the year 1510. So Francisco de Albuquerque, he captured Goa from the Sultan of Bijapur in the year November 1510. Okay. In 1515, he established the Portuguese authority over arms in Persian Gulf. Okay. Then he also encouraged the marriages between the Portuguese and the Indian women. Okay. He maintained a friendly relationship with the Vijayanagar Empire. Next one, Ninodi Chunha. Okay. So Governor Ninodi Chunha moved the capital from Cochin to Goa in the year 1530. Okay. So this governor Ninodi Chunha, he moved the capital of Portuguese from Cochin to Goa in the year 1530. Okay. In 1534, he acquired basin from Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. After that, in 1534, he acquired the place basin from the Bahadur Shah of Gujarat. Okay, you can see the place basin in the India map. Okay, you can see above Bombay basin. So this green color places are the Portuguese settlements. This red dotted places were the settlements of French. Then this rose color dots were the Dutch settlements. Okay, these are the places where the Dutch settlements are located, and the black is Danish settlements and the blue one is the English settlements of India. Okay. In 1537, the Portuguese occupied Diu. Okay. So later they wrested Daman from the local chiefs of Gujarat. So they occupied both the Diu and Daman. Okay. In 1548, they occupied the Salsette. So this is also a place which was located near Surat. Okay. So near Bombay basin and Salsette are located near. Okay. Thus, during the 16th century, Portuguese succeeded in capturing Goa, Daman, Diu, Salsette, Basin, Chaul and Bombay on the western coast, Hooghly on the Bengal coast and Santhom on the Madras coast, and enjoyed good trade benefits. Okay. So, you can see the places in this map. Okay. So, in the east coast, what are the places located? Goa, Daman, Diu, Salsette, Basin, Chaul and Bombay. Okay. So, and in the west coast, Hooghly. Okay. So, the Hooghly is located in the Bengal coast, and you see here Santhom. Okay. So, Santhom is located in the Madras coast. Okay. And they enjoyed the good trade benefits in these places. The Portuguese brought the cultivation of tobacco to India. So, the Portuguese, they was the first to cultivate tobacco in India. Okay. So, due to the influence of the Portuguese Catholic religion, this Catholic religion they spread in certain regions of India's western and eastern coast. Okay. The printing press was set up by the Portuguese at Goa in 1556. Okay. The printing press was set up by the Portuguese at Goa in the year 1556. Then a scientific work on the Indian medicinal plants by a European writer was printed at Goa in 1563. A scientific work on the Indian medicinal plants by the European writer was printed at Goa. Okay, because in Goa only the printing press was started. Okay, so this the scientific work, it was printed at Goa in the year 1563. Then in 17th century, the Portuguese power began to decline due to the Dutch, and by 1739, the Portuguese packets became confined to Goa, Diu and Daman. Okay. Students, have you all understood this topic? Okay, so in this session we learn about the written sources and the material sources. Okay, so in this session we have learned about the sources of modern India. There are two kinds of sources are there. They are the written sources and the material sources. Okay, so the place where the historical documents are preserved is known as the archives. Okay, so in Tamil Nadu we are having Tamil Nadu archives. It is located in Chennai. Okay, so the National Archives of India is located at New Delhi. Okay, then we have also saw about the material sources and the advent of the Europeans. Okay, so how the Portugal they discover sea route to India, and who is the first person to enter into India. Okay, so who is the first one to enter India? Vasco da Gama. Okay, so he is the first Portuguese sailor to reach India. Okay, so after that Pedro Alvarez Cabral, he reached India. Okay, so who is the real founder of Portuguese power in India? Alfonso de Albuquerque. Okay, so in next class we can see about the Dutch, the British, Danish and French. Okay, so then your today's work is, look at the back of this lesson. You are having some 1 mark questions. Okay, so you can see, read the glossary and write each word and its meaning 5 times. Okay, so you have to read this glossary and make thorough of it. Okay, then you have to write the each word and you have to write the meaning of word each one 5 times. This is your assignment today. Okay, thank you students.